Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. So tonight is Tuesday, May 6th, 2020. This is episode number 482. There's something out here. Bing! There we go. And part of my news items were blocked off. I was like, wait a second, what's going on? Anyway, this is episode 482 of the Daily Dope. So if this is your first time tuning in, let me just point out this is not rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. Just sharing the latest tabletop gaming news. Every once in a while, a little bit of pop culture. But for the most part, we're just talking about games. We're relaxing, having a good time in this crazy world that we live in. Speaking of which, want to throw out a big thank you to everyone out there who's going the extra mile, doing their part to do everything they can, keep us safe and supplied and fed during the COVID-19 pandemic. So big thank you to everyone out there, from doctors and nurses all the way down to truck drivers and people working in grocery stores and fast food places. Everybody really pulling together to try to help the rest of us stay safe and hopefully sane, moderately sane, possibly. Of course, this is a live stream, so if you are watching on YouTube, and I don't know where else you'd actually be watching because I don't stream through anything else, by all means, feel free, say howdy. Got a question, comment, chime in. I will do my best to respond. Chat isn't on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do pay attention to chat. So, by all means, chime in. And of course, be sure to like the video if you do. Subscribe to the channel if you dig it. And also ring that bell to be notified of the live streams as well as uploaded videos here on the Gaming Gang channel. So Dan from No Enemies here is popping in, asking how I'm doing. I'm doing okay. Doing all right. Very strange setup tonight. I'll say right off the bat, I know my sound isn't sounding good tonight. I know it sounds rather lousy. I don't want to say tinny, but sort of fake sounding, because I was trying to play around with some different settings and little plugins for my audio, and this was making a complete mess out of the whole thing. So, at least I wasn't sounding like this. Fingers crossed that I didn't. So, yes, my apologies. The sound is not sounding all that great. I was in the midst of doing a bunch of stuff today and then kind of got a late start on getting things set up, and then decided, oh, yes, I am going to kind of mess around with the audio. So Dan says, sounds like I upped the decibels. I actually haven't. But I did get rid of the limiter that was kind of making things sound kind of muddier. So, but if it seems a little too loud, I'll pull this down a bit. So hopefully that's a bit better for you there, Dan. And we have NY Deloth, or Nidaloth, joining us in chat. For some strange reason, that nickname rings a bell. I wonder if this is not the first time popping into chat. Then again, maybe it is, but for some reason that nickname rings a bell. Dan's like, no, anything but the limiters. All of a sudden you see Dan flying across the room like in slow motion. No. Well, you got to have some sort of a limiter so you don't sit there and suddenly start breaking up and things like that. Anyway, so so I'm doing pretty good. Dan, how are you doing? Good to have you joining me today. I feel bad for people who are like looking to start doing streams and things like that, because with the so Dan's like, what's a limiter? It's just a device that prevents the sound from going too loud. So a compressor, which I don't have a compressor on right now, that was one of the things I had turned off. A compressor tends to kind of keep the highs from getting too high and the lows from getting too low. Compressors are used radio mainly, but I wasn't digging the results I was getting from my compressor. So most of my filters are off tonight. But yeah, a limiter prevents you from peaking from because if your mic is peaking, of course, you're probably not going to know it, but then the final sound is all crackly and things like that. It's very bad. Very, very bad. All right, moving right along. Let's jump on into the news. I got some interesting tidbits to share with you tonight, because currently up for Kickstarter funding is strangely enough, it's a Western miniatures game. The game is called High Noon, and the company making it is High Noon Games. No points for originality, I'm sorry, but still, I've got the dope. Howdy, partner. In High Noon, two or more players control different posses, vying for dominance at the turn of the 20th century in the fictional Wild West state of Saratoga. I would have thought might have been down in Florida, but it's not, it's out west. Players send their posses in a battle to settle their scores. The only way they know how, by slapping leather, gunslinging. Loot crates are strategically placed across the board and have the ability to give each posse a unique advantage during the firefight. Within the loot crates, players will find valuable supplies, medicines, and firepower. Give them an edge against their opponents. Victory is declared at the end of 12 rounds, in which time the posse has collected the most gold wins. Gold is awarded by how much damage and mayhem is dealt in the shootout. Alternatively, players can continue the fight until one posse remains and is declared the last posse standing. There is a short. It's about 2.5 minutes, so I guess short. There is a Kickstarter video. Get you an idea of what we're looking at here in High Noon. Let's take a peek.
We picked up one of the Rough Riders last night from the saloon. Turns out he had federal warrants for his arrest, and we plan to keep him here until the marshals come to haul him off to one of those prison work camps in the southeast.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way, Sheriff. Either way, we come to get our boy back. That's what we're fixing to do.
What do you make of it?
Trouble. This ain't how you want this to go down, Colonel.
I don't think you're fully appreciating your circumstances, Sheriff. We have you outmanned and outgunned. Now go ahead and let our boy out and we can get going along our way.
Ready your iron, Isaiah.
This godforsaken, untamed country needs men like you and me. So, I'm gonna give you to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You are fired upon until you comply.
Lay down cover fire. Give it up, Colonel. This won't end well for you.
Let the dust and shrapnel belabor the lesson, Sheriff. There is no way out.
Welcome to Sweetwater Gulch. It can get downright deadly in this town, but if you play your cards right, you just might make it out alive.
No!
Pick your posse, and I'll see you at high noon. It's about to get interesting.
High Noon, the board game, is for 2 to 6 players. Plays in 1 to 2 hours as well. You can reserve a copy of the core game for an $89 pledge through June 4th, with an expected delivery of this October. Clutch cargo style animation notwithstanding. So I don't really know a whole heck of a lot about this. I have popped onto Kickstarter, taken a peek. One of my pals who does PR work actually tends to send me a lot of the Cosmos game stuff. Had asked if I would share this Kickstarter, and of course I said sure. So yes, Kabuki Kid has joined us in chat, and I completely agree with Kabuki Kid, who's mentioning that they would have liked to have seen more game coverage in this game. I'm right with you on that. One thing that does also throw me is they do a close-up of the miniature. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to be a 3D mock-up or what, but it has all this like gloss finish to it. I'm thinking, man, I don't want to even try to paint something like that. It's like, hopefully that's just a render. It's not a zoomed in shot of a mini. Looks like it was been bathed in oil or something, like baby oil. Like, what the hell is this? But this could be a pretty cool game. And I have to point out, it launched today, and it is well past the 50% mark of its funding last time I took a peek. So things are looking pretty good for High Noon. Coming from the OP Games and Games Workshop is Talisman Star Wars. Nothing but Star Wars. I've got the dope. Prepare for an exciting tabletop experience defending the light or dark side of the Force. Crafted from USAopoly, the OP, or the OP. I'm not sure which one they prefer. It might be the OP. I always call it the OP. Yeah. I don't know. The OC, OP, OCD, I don't know. Anyway, crafted from USAopoly's ongoing partnership with Games Workshop, Talisman Star Wars, the first roll and move game transporting fans to their favorite galaxy far, far away, is coming this fall. I believe that's a false statement. I will talk about that when I'm done with this little news piece. Explore the Star Wars galaxy through memorable characters, places, and events from every era within the setting of a critically acclaimed tabletop game franchise. Available in European, Middle Eastern, and African regions, Talisman Star Wars allows players to compete in a circuitous route to reach Emperor Palpatine, collecting items of power along the way to confront the all-powerful Sith Lord or stand beside him as an evil apprentice. Adventurers can choose from 12 playable characters to charge their way into the inner rings of the galactic game board. Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Rey, Kylo Ren, Count Dooku, and Obi-Wan Kenobi are among the custom sculpted game pieces true to every beloved Talisman game. This collaboration, developed by the OP, the OP, the USAopoly, and Games Workshop, will join the ranks of the Disney Kingdom Hearts edition of Talisman, which launched in 2019. It's also their second Star Wars themed game, following the cooperative card and dice game Star Wars Dark Side Rising. I didn't realize they had so many Rising games. Although the first one, Thanos Rising, really enjoyed it. So they are surprisingly entertaining, I guarantee. Well, I can't guarantee that. I haven't played the other ones, but we were very, very happily surprised by Thanos Rising. Anyway, Talisman Star Wars is for 2 to 6 players, ages 13 and up, plays around 90 minutes to 2 hours, and will carry an MSRP of $59.99 when it arrives in the fall. Fortunately, this is the only image that is available for this game as of yet, and they've already said this is not necessarily going to be the final artwork for the box. So I gotta be honest, I've never played Talisman, or if I did, I played it once so long ago, I don't remember the experience. But this news piece says that this is going to be the first roll and move Star Wars game. That is absolutely incorrect, because from practically the beginning of time, there has been Star Wars Monopoly. Monopoly is a roll and move game. Kind of surprised that somebody did not do their homework when they're like, oh, this is the first roll and move, which actually is not sort of a red badge of courage for a game. Not to say Talisman's a bad game. I'm talking, when people think roll and move, they're thinking Monopoly, Game of Life, stuff that you'd probably rather eat broken glass than be forced to play. But regardless, it is Star Wars, it is Talisman, and I gotta say, this is probably going to be pretty impressive, especially with the sculpted miniatures, which I actually did see a little photo, but it was so small, reproducing it would have looked really lousy. The latest free Dungeons & Dragons download, say that 5 times fast, Dungeons & Dragons download from Wizard of the Coast, and their Stay at Home, Play at Home initiative is available. I've got the dope on Treasure of the Broken Horde. Famous relic hunter seeks adventurers to help her find caches of treasure hidden by the now defeated followers of the Cult of the Dragon. Her maps and notes may lead the way to great wealth or a terrible death. And do other parties have designs on the treasure as well? This includes 5 one-hour mini-adventures for first and second level characters. Also included in this download is a version specifically converted for use with the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop software. The converted adventure features all the text and maps from the original adventure, along with cross-linking of monsters, spells, magic items, equipment, and story elements, plus the powerful rules automation for which Fantasy Grounds is known. This is completely free. The 36-page PDF can be had at the Dungeon Masters Guild, or as I like to say, DM's Guild, through May 11th. I have to point out, there have been some really good free downloads from Wizards of the Coast, and they've effectively been releasing something new every day. Last Friday was a real kind of bummer. All it was a coloring book page. But the other releases last week, which unfortunately you can no longer get because they don't last very long. I'm kind of surprised this is lasting as long as it is, because they've been releasing different downloads and that. You have like 3 days to get your hands on it. But last week, they effectively gave away the Dungeons & Dragons Essentials Kit. So for the most part, yes, the cards weren't included. You didn't get the printouts of the cards. And you didn't get pre-gens. I don't think you got pre-gens. You got pre-gens. I didn't look at the actual download. I didn't download it. I think I have the physical book. Box set, I should say. And of course, you didn't get dice, but you got the rule book. That was, I want to say that was Tuesday's download. And then they followed that up on Thursday with the Dragon of Icefire Peak introductory adventure, which is like 64 pages. So in essence, Wizards of the Coast gave you a free copy of the Dungeons & Dragons Essentials Kit, which I thought was great. I thought that was very, very cool. I have been sharing the downloads every day on thegaminggang.com. Now, I do have to point out, they don't release the new item until about 8 o'clock my time, and I tend to be a little behind on it. So, for an example, what I'm sharing today actually came out last night. So, because I can't tell you what's coming out, because it's not out yet. But by all means, if you are doing any kind of role-playing with the family, or even if you wanted to kick the tires on Dungeons & Dragons, keep going over to dnd.wizards.com every day. Click on the stay at home, play at home, which is right there, right when you get to the website, right on the landing page. And check it out. They have had some really good stuff. This adventure here, this is from the Adventurers League, which of course is the setup for gaming stores and comic book stores who do the like established game nights and stuff like that. This is not something that normally is free. So pretty cool. And I guess it takes place, I should say, right in that Storm King's Thunder adventure. That's why I threw the Storm Giant in there. Otherwise, you're just looking at a rather boring looking PDF cover. Wow. Oh, Treasure of the Broken Horde. Whoa, let's get the old adventure juices flowing. No, it's not. Tell you what, we'll get your adventure juices flowing. And like I said, I'm not making fun of Wizards of the Coast. I think they've been doing some really cool stuff here. Moving on to the next news item, though. There is a new Call of Cthulhu supplement. It arrived today. And actually, Michael O'Brien touched base with me and let me know about 3 minutes after it went on sale over at Drive-Thru RPG. I've got the dope on Mansions of Madness Volume 1 Behind Closed Doors, which I keep wanting to think of that old country western song. Wasn't it? Conway Twitty? Tammy Wynette? Conway Twitty? Somebody out there jump on the old Google machine and see who sang Behind Closed Doors, the country song. I don't know. For some reason, that just keeps popping in my head. Let's talk about this game book, because who knows what happens behind closed doors. Mansions of Madness Volume 1 contains 5 scenarios for use with the Call of Cthulhu starter set or the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu Keeper rulebook. It includes 2 fully updated and revised classics, along with 3 brand new adventures, and all can be played as standalone adventures, used as side tracks for ongoing campaigns, or strung together to form a mini campaign spanning the 1920s. Suitable for up to 6 players and their keeper, each scenario should take between 1 and 3 sessions to play through, and are an ideal next step for those who have already experienced the horrors contained within the scenario collection's Doors to Darkness and Gateways to Terror. Here are the 5 scenarios. Mr. Corbett, this is a classic. Does a seemingly shy and retiring local businessman hide a terrible secret? Can the investigators solve the riddle and save the day? Hey, that's no fair. That's kind of spoiler alert. Spoilers! Then there's the Cracked and Crooked Months, which is also a classic. Long considered to be a cursed place by the folk of Gamwell, it seems the Fitzgerald Manse has finally escaped its sordid past, but no one's seen the new owner, Arthur Cornwaith, for quite some time. Is history repeating itself? Move on to the new ones. The Code. Summoned to the home of Dr. Kenneth Connolly by an urgent telegram, can the investigators make sense of the bizarre events afflicting Wellington Manor? Wellington Beef Manor, or Duke of Wellington, of the two? We've got the House of Memphis. I guess Elvis lives there. World famous magician Memphis the Great. Oh, I guess not. I guess it's Memphis the Great. Has not been seen for weeks. Has he merely gone off on another of his legendary magic hunting trips? The Bender. Come on, let's get real. Or is there a more sinister reason for his disappearance? And finally, we've got the 19th hole. Renovation work at Thistledown Golf Course has not been running smoothly. First, there were tales of illness, then ghostly sightings. Now, no one can find the owner. Dark shadows fall over Scotland, and all is not what it seems. This supplement is best used with the Call of Cthulhu starter set or the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition role-playing game, and optionally with the Pulp Cthulhu sourcebook available separately. This 224-page PDF is available right now, as of this morning, on DriveThruRPG for $19.99. It is coming in print, but that's still a little ways out. So the PDF is available now, and it's at a nice price. I see Flaming Huron has arrived to pop in. So Flaming Huron saying, "Damn that audio." So what is it? Because it's not clipping. It's not going up. I know. I'm still working on the audio. Tonight, I opened the show by apologizing. It's not too good. I took all my filters and that off, and I've been playing around. But unfortunately, I did not have time to be doing it earlier in the day. Other things had been coming up. So yes, I know it's not where it should be at the moment. So I don't know. The Flaming Heron's like, I don't know. Maybe it's on his end. I don't know. I have no idea. All right, one final news piece. Well, actually, I should mention, I have been mentioning this. So, Mansions of Madness Volume 1, Behind Closed Doors, is available at DriveThruRPG. Do you want to mention the Gaming Gang and thus the Daily Dope are affiliated with Drive-Thru websites, the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, DriveThruRPG or Dungeon Masters Guild, by all means, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner advertisements. That way, if you do happen to make a purchase, a little portion of that sale. And I got to admit, a lot of people use those ads on the website. I really, really appreciate it because it actually pretty much pays for the hosting of the website each and every month. And I've said it time and time again. I don't have cheapo GoDaddy hosting. Nope. All right. So, final news piece. There is a brand new bundle of holding. Yes, I just talked about a bundle of holding yesterday. Well, they launched yet another one. I've got the dope. Adventurer. This Apocalypse Engine Bundle 4 is our fourth offer, I guess thus the number 4, right? Of tabletop role-playing games powered by the Apocalypse. That is based on Vincent and Miguel Baker's landmark indie RPG Apocalypse World. Since our last Apocalypse offer in June 2018, many new PBTA games have debuted. For just $7.95, you get all 3 complete games in this new offer's starter collection, the retail value of $35, as PDF ebooks, including the best-selling cyberpunk RPG from Fraser Simmons, The Veil, Game of Thrones, cutthroat fantasy intrigue, The Sword, the Crown, and the Unspeakable Power, and an instructive game about organizing on the job and in the community, Beat the Boss. Politically beat them. I don't think you're like going out there with bats and things like that to beat the boss. If you pay more than the threshold price of $20.53, you'll level up. Also get the entire bonus collection with 5 more titles worth an additional $60, including Cascade, a full-length campaign supplement for The Veil, an intense game of wildlife survival, The Warren, plus its Predator cards, print and play deck, Comrades, a revolutionary RPG, and a big collection of 10 linked one-episode games, Uncanny Echo. You can score these savings through May 25th. Don't forget, 10% of your payment after payment gateway fees will be donated to this offer's pandemic-related charity, Heart to Heart International. Heart to Heart is delivering medical equipment to healthcare workers on the front lines during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, I gotta be honest, the only roleplay, okay, I think I have kind of heard through the grapevine a little bit about the sword, the crown, or is it the crown, the sword, and the unspeakable power? I have kind of heard a little bit through the grapevine that it's pretty cool. The Veil is supposed to be excellent. The Veil is supposed to be an excellent Powered by the Apocalypse cyberpunk game. So I hear about it all the time. But the Powered by the Apocalypse engine is, and it's an acquired taste, I guess we'll say. I think it's cool. I personally think Dungeon World is pretty cool. I think Apocalypse World is actually very, very cool. Very mature. So you got to be careful who you're running that for. But also, Spirit of 77 is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, which is like really over the top kind of 70s action movie, science fiction, kung fu. Really, really very, very cool. That's actually excellent for one shots. But yeah, definitely, if you're interested in checking out some Powered by the Apocalypse role playing, by all means, take a peek at the latest bundle of holding. Also, I think the Star Trek Adventures bundle of holding is going to wrap up pretty soon. So if you haven't picked that up, that is an excellent opportunity to save big money on a very, very cool role-playing game. It is an excellent role-playing game. Fans of Star Trek love it. All right, looks like Dan's got to rock out. Yep. All right. Oh, Dan's only stopping by once this week. Oh, he must have his own stuff going on. Actually, as Dan rolls out, I started to mention this and then I kind of got off topic. There are a lot of people out there who are looking to stream, right? During the pandemic, especially for those who have been sheltering at home like I have, or who are, under kind of like lockdown orders and stuff like that. Only problem is now anything related to streaming, such as the video capture cards and video capture devices, are all astronomically priced. It's like, gee. I swear, just like when I built my computer, I had to build it and buy everything right when you had all those Bitcoin operators out there. So you were paying top dollar for video cards, if you could even find them. I tell you, I don't know. So, but I thought that was kind of weird, kind of strange. All right, that is it for the news tonight. Let's see, anything else I want to float out there? Not really. I did mention on yesterday's show that we should be getting ready to play some Traveler on Fantasy Grounds. I'm going to record it. I will record the game. So we had actually Elliot, my best friend Elliot, and his son Brian, and I had a lot of fun creating their characters for Traveler this past Sunday. It was a blast. It was one of the more entertaining character creation sessions I can remember in quite a while. Anyway, so that will be coming up. Hopefully we're going to get to play this weekend. We might be doing a bit of a 0 episode, sort of. So Kabuki Kid mentions that she's got her old school Traveler books. Yeah, I was talking about Traveler last night, that I had the box set. And I don't know if it was the 77 box set or if it's the 81 box set. Could have swore I bought it for 81. So I think it was the 77 box. So Flaming Heron's like, see how much they enjoy them dying. Well, we're using second edition Mongoose Traveler, so you don't die in character creation. You can have bad things happen, but no outright death, which was kind of funny because the way, especially Elliot, was rolling, he'd have probably ended up knocking off 2 or 3 characters before he got one to stick. All right. So anyway, that's it for tonight's show. As I like to always point out, if you like the video, click on that little thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you do, ring that notification bell. That way you'll know when the stream goes live Monday through Thursday nights, as well as when I upload stand. Well, one last thing I was going to mention. We were talking about Call of Cthulhu. The fine folks over at Chaosium are sending me the slipcase edition of the core rules. So I believe that includes the Keeper's Guide, the Investigator's Guide, and then I think, correctly, I think there's a Keeper's screen in that. I'm not positive. So pretty cool. I will be looking forward to that. So get ready to see some video for that. And of course, this weekend, as I had mentioned on last night's show, my life was made so much easier rolling up the characters for Traveler because the fine folks over at Mongoose sent me the starter set. So I didn't have to go flipping back and forth in a PDF. All I had to do is just flip from page to page in the book. So we will have a review of the Traveler starter set and some other Traveler items in the very near future. Maybe even this weekend, because I've read all the Traveler stuff. So anyway, alrighty then. So those of you who spent some time hanging out with me live in chat, thank you very much. Always appreciate that. People take some time out to keep me company so I don't just babble on into the camera by myself. But of course, if you watch after the fact, I definitely appreciate that as well, even if you're watching on Memorex. So, also want to point out, when you are not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com, because you will find all the tabletop gaming news I've been talking about and more for you to peruse at the. All right, I will be back tomorrow. So everybody enjoy your Tuesday night / Wednesday morning. And until I see you next, be smart, stay safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist. And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.